the Twitch studio thing you're using? Or have
Yeah,
you
it's
switched
cool.
to OBS?
Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna try some other things, but this is really easy, so.
That's nice. Yeah, it's good they, like, flatten the learning curve a little bit for new streamers. When I first started, I wasn't, like, using a PC at all. I was just doing it straight from my PlayStation. So it was just hitting the share button. And do you have me muted on the thing, or should I stop talking?
Hey everybody, we're gonna start in a few minutes. Let some people join in with us. We went live, Pixie.
Yeah, they told me that they could still hear me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Matt.
No, that's okay. They can listen to us.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were playing music for them or something like you did the one time that I had to be quiet for a few minutes.
No, it's all right.
Hey, Rothgar and Sparky. Anytime ignored bunny. That bunny is gonna haunt me for the rest of my life, I swear. I'm never gonna escape it. I've had to, like, start working the dead bunny into my logos and stuff because it just won't go away, so I just have to embrace it now. Hey, Ragnar. How's it going? Dade, you're gonna have to tell me when, like, right before you flip the cameras on, so I'm not just making, like, a stupid face or something.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'll let you know.
Looking at the game. Okay, that's good. I think I was talking kind of quiet too, so that makes me feel better. It was just odd mumbles from Pixie for a little bit there. Hey, Ducky. Oh, I should probably put something in Discord about this, shouldn't I?
All right, I'm gonna switch us over and get the show started.
Right, I'm gonna post a link in Discord really quick, and then I will be ready.
Sure. Hello everybody, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. So this is episode 3 of For the Queen. I am Dade the Lore Seeker. I'm the GM of the Lore Seekers Guild and the PCNA GM as well. Hyper Pixie is a Lore Seeker and member of the ESO stream team. And she streams all the time, all kinds of fun content. So at the end of the show today, we're going to have a little question and answer. So if you have questions, get them ready. We'll read it right off the chat. And so we'll give you a chance to think about that. But let me bring down my map here so you can see where we're at. As you can see, we are at the Bards College, which is going to be the content of our lore lesson today. If anybody has played Skyrim, of course they'll know what the Bards College is. And we're very happy that they brought it into ESO with the Greymore chapter, and we are in Solitude. So Hyper Pixie, why don't you take over with the lore lesson for today?
Alright, well, it does make sense that it shows up in ESO because it was founded all the way back during the First Empire, so long before the events of ESO even got started. It does consist of 2 known departments. So whenever you think of bards, a lot of times you'll think of musicians who are performing, but along with the music department, it has a department for history as well. Many of the poets and the bards of the college contribute to a compilation that's known as the Poetic Edda, which is a poetic history of Tamriel. Many of the college alumni end up finding themselves in great positions, employed as bards and historians for the noble families all over Tamriel, including in the Imperial City itself. one really cool tradition that the Bards College enjoys is the burning of King Olaf. So this whole thing started way back in the First Era. At some point, King Olaf One-Eye sacked the city of Solitude, and whenever he became High King, the Bards I'm going to butcher his name, but the Bards Fafnir wrote poetry depicting the king as a fraud. He claimed that Olaf's claim that got him his jarlship over Whiterun, and eventually his position as High King in Skyrim, was besting the dragon Numinex. But the bard said, no, 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 Numinex was already greatly weakened by the time Olaf arrived, so it wasn't the great feat that he said it was. Infuriated, Olaf decided to imprison the bard and burn all copies of his verse that he could find. But I think some of those survived until the Fourth Era. If you've done that quest line in the Bards College, it's a good one. You should do it if you haven't already. So now to celebrate the whole exposing of the king, the students of the Bards College burn an effigy of King Olaf One-Eye every year. Queen Elisif during the Fourth Era put a stop to it for a little bit because it seemed like it was in bad taste to burn an effigy of a king right after a king was murdered by Ulfric. So she tried to stop it, but depending on if you did that quest or not, you may or may not still have the burning of King Olaf. There's also, back in the Second Era, a very special NPC in the college named Hogier the Lore Seeker. This NPC is associated with the repeatable quest Mother of Shadows and is thought to be a nod to the Lore Seekers podcast in our very own little community.
If you want to check her out, she's right over here, I think. Let's see if we can find her. I think that's her.
Somewhere over here.
Yeah, there she is.
Super awesome to find her in the game. I remember seeing posts from the community about her as soon as this expansion launched. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah, I'll never forget our fellow lore seeker, Hrothgar Jason, announced that the first day of the release that he found a lore seeker outside the Bards College. So he gets credit for discovering her.
That's who I thought it was, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to get it wrong.
So we'll venture inside the Bards College, and you will see a bunch of instruments here on display, and this is part of an achievement you can get in-game. I bring this up because this last Friday, every Friday I'm doing an achievement night, and the last 2 Fridays have been collecting these instruments. So I think some of us got them all. And it gets you the Merrymaker songbox, which is cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Have you done any of these collecting of these instruments, Pixie?
I have a few of them, but I haven't gotten all of them yet.
Yeah, it takes about, I would say, an hour and a half to probably get them all from beginning to end. It's just a lot of traveling around. But it's not too terribly bad. So tomorrow, guys, we're going to get the Undaunted celebration. It starts at 10 a.m. Eastern. This is the next ESO event. Hopefully, it will be smooth. They moved it because of dungeon stability and performance issues, which I understand is still kind of going on, where you can join a dungeon with 5 people all of a sudden, or it would be just 3 people. There's a lot of strange things going, people being kicked from dungeons. So hopefully they have this all straightened out for the Undaunted event tomorrow, because that's all dungeons. But maybe that was the point.
Doing a dungeon with 5 people would make it significantly easier to do the dungeon.
I would guess so. Or 3. I mean, if you're in a vet dungeon with 3 people, that would be kind of difficult.
That would be a bad time.
Yeah. So hopefully that goes smoothly. But I have faith that Zoss will make it right, no matter what.
It's going to be a fun event. I love this one.
Yeah, it is a good one. For anybody who hasn't done, hey, Wisty followed us. How about that? It's about time. You only run World Boss Wednesday for me. So anyway, as part of the Undaunted event, if anybody doesn't know what the Undaunted is, when you hit level 45, I think it is, right? I think that's right, isn't it, Pixie? Yeah, 45. Mm-hmm. You can run the Undaunted daily quests, dungeon quests. And they give you keys to unlock the Undaunted chests, which give you the monster shoulders. and a monster helm that you get from running a vet dungeon. When you kill the final boss in a vet dungeon, you get a monster helm. So that 2-piece set gives you quite a good bonus, depending on what it is, and it's built for a certain class. So it depends what you're looking for as to what you would want to do. When you kill the final boss in a dungeon, every day of the Undaunted event, you'll get an Undaunted reward box. The first kill, the first completed dungeon each day, you get a glorious Undaunted reward box. The glorious Undaunted reward box is guaranteed to contain an opal weapon style page. If you complete certain dungeons in veteran hard mode difficulty, you also have a chance to earn the opal monster mask style page for the respective bosses. And those would be Iceheart, Lord Warden, Night Flame, Swarm Mother, Lambrus, Troll King, Bloodspawn, and Engine Guardian. So you have a chance to earn those style pages as well, which is very cool. Also, on the first dungeon you complete in a day, you get your 3 event tickets, which you can spend at the Impresario. Again, there's an Indrik available. It is the Crimson Indrik. It is the last one in the line of Indriks. You can also get style pages for the new opal weapons, masks, and shoulders. They'll be bound to your account. 3 Crimson Indrik berries are available now. The 4th will be available at the New Life Festival, which will finally get you that Crimson Indrik. And you can also get the group repair kits, which I love to collect because I don't get the Indrik. So I go for the style pages and the group repair kits. On to guild news.
If you wanted to see the style page for one of the weapons, the opal weapons, I'm actually using the Troll King Destro staff right now.
Let's zoom in there.
Sparkly bluish purple.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Awesome. So I'm sure everybody's going to be hitting the Undaunted dailies every day. You should. And hopefully the dungeon stability improves and everybody has a great time with it. On to our guild news. The Lore Seekers on Discord have 1,773 members. That's
wow.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that up every month, just to let you guys know how we're doing as far as health-wise and population with our server. So we're doing great. And I'll bring up when Jibs and Cash left, we thought maybe a lot of people would drop. It's actually not that many. Since they left, it's only been about 100 to 150 people, I believe, have dropped.
Oh, wow.
So it's not a tragic loss, I guess. That's we always hate to see people leave, but it's great to see so many people sticking around and enjoying the Lore Seekers.
Definitely.
Yeah. On the PCEU side, Draylin is now the GM. Wise Buddha has not been able to spend much time in ESO recently because of real life stuff like we all have. So he's appointed Draylin as a temporary guildmaster for PCEU chapter. And he'll be leading until Wise Buddha can return. And don't expect any major changes. And Draylin says, such as only DC characters being allowed. Yikes, that would be scary.
Especially from some people whose show is called For the Queen.
Exactly. Yeah, we're AD Guild. I don't know what they're talking about with this DC stuff. Or For the Pact. I don't know what that's all about either. But
me either.
That's right,
it all
Ragnar.
sounds like gibberish to me.
PCNA. I am the GM of PCNA. And I would like to congratulate Matt, the lore maker, for getting the honorable mention for his recruitment poster in the Tamriel Together event. That's pretty awesome. There were some stiff competition. The people who won were pretty talented people, I got to say. But Matt did a great job and got us entered into it, and we got an honorable mention, which gave us some good guild pub. If you haven't seen that, you can go on Discord, and it's in the Tamriel Together channel.
Looks awesome.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yes, he did. It is great. As far as the Reliquary Guild, which is our trading guild for the Lore Seekers, we had over 10 million in sales last week. And that is incredible. I'm so proud of you guys. That took off, and we are able to keep a trader every week. And everybody's able to sell their stuff, and we're doing well at it. So that is awesome. Ranger, who won our Halloween competition for her Robin Hood costume, has been leading a dungeon lore run on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Tomorrow she's doing Ice Reach. A lore run is just taking it easy and taking in the story and making sure you can read everything and see everything, because as everybody knows, when you pug a group, nobody's patient enough to sit around and let you read all the quest stories and stop and read the books and the scrolls and all the fun stuff. So if that interests you, Ranger is leading that on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. And tomorrow's Ice Reach. Ishii has taken on leading Monday Night Trials. I love it. I previously was doing that, and Ishii decided he wanted to get involved in leading trials for the guild, and that is awesome for him. So glad that he's doing that. Matt the Lore Maker again. He's running an Undaunted Daily Delves on Tuesday nights. It's a good way to get Undaunted experience. The Daily Delves are... I don't know exactly how he does it, but he arranges it where you can go to many places at one time in a night. So you can collect a lot of different... And he'll just keep going all night if you want to. So thanks for leading that. Ratawi and Brooks have started running a trial on Friday nights at 11 p.m. And this one kind of scares me because it's those two guys. And it's... They kind of just fly by the seat of their pants. There's really no instruction. You just kind of jump in and try to run a dungeon or a trial. It's not a dungeon, it's a trial. And they consume a lot of their favorite beverages, and they have games kind of based around that. Obviously, you don't have to drink alcohol. You can drink water if you want. You just might have to drink a lot of it. I don't know. So I have not yet been able to partake. So maybe I ought to send Pixie out one night to run that one with them so she can give me a report.
If it's based on number of deaths, I will not be able to use alcohol because I would just get alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, well, you had a dungeon run with 100 deaths, right? So
107. Yep, that was my max.
That would that'd hurt you, I think. Yeah. So where was I? Okay, Sparky Bagman is leading Sparky's Tamriel tours on Saturday afternoons. He started taking that on. So the latest thing they're doing is they've been running the Cyrodiil PvE quests. So they're not really concentrating on the PvP. They're trying to get all those quests done in that area, and there's tons of them. As I mentioned earlier, started an achievement event on Friday nights. In addition to my Fish Boss Friday event at 9. And lately we're connecting the instruments in Western Skyrim and Blackreach, which I just explained. And that achievement is Instrumental Triumph, which rewards the Merrymaker music box. I think I'm going to move on. If anybody wants to continue on with those instruments, that's cool. We pretty much completed them all. I don't think everybody, I think a few people got them all, and some people just joined first week and second week, so they have some of them. So I may do it again this Friday so more people can get it completed. But I do want to move on to the Somerset collection too. So that'll be coming up as well. And I'd just love to say thanks to everybody who is taking on these responsibilities and leading things in the guild. It helps me out tremendously, I gotta say, and it makes the guild a fun place to be. Always. You guys are great. For the PlayStation EU side, AirRob, he says all has been quiet on PSEU. There has been actually some connection problems since the latest patch or expansion, I think. I guess since the latest, the fourth quarter expansion. They're having connection issues. So hopefully Zos gets that worked out in a time for the upcoming event and everything goes smoothly over there. For the PlayStation North America, Never Separate is a GM over there. He says Tuesday night is Treacherous Tuesday Nights, the original. A night we tackle one dungeon from the Dungeon Fighter list in order from top to bottom to ensure everyone has a chance to run every dungeon. We have multiple time slots from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesday is World Boss Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Awesome. Always love to see the World Boss Wednesdays happening. Friday nights are the rumors of a fight club at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for those PvP folks. But we don't talk about fight clubs, so hush that up. And Saturday night, we host trials at 9 p.m. That's on the PlayStation North America side. For Xbox, Fairgal is the general manager for both EU and NA. She would like to give a shout out to Ash Darkthorn for officially being lead with Velody on Loreseeker's Tamriel tours. Mad Tadpole Queen for her Monday night public dungeon Mages Guild daily runs. Whiz Kid Sid and Heavy Metalhead for running the DLC dailies, as well as Fresh Bread and Smokin' Reptile, nice name, for stepping up into the event lead roles. Also, congrats to Wicked Gypsy, Whiz Kid Sid, and Hellfire 666, yikes, for taking on officer roles. That's a serious name there. And many thanks to Veldy for continuing as lead for World Boss Wednesday. Fairgal has been running some interesting trials back to back with normal Saturday night trials, such as all werewolves, wolves and vampires together, pet builds, and under 50 CP builds. She says it's been a lot of fun. So that's pretty much it for our Loreseeker news. Pixie, do you have any news to share with anybody? Is anything cool going on besides your moving?
Well, since we were talking about the whole instability thing, I do know there is a new patch, I believe, on December 7th for PC and December 9th for console to try to help some of these stability issues as well. So hopefully then we're going to see it get a little bit better. I know they're working really hard over there and can only imagine how difficult it is to make a game this huge.
Right, exactly. So everybody start formulating your questions if you have any. What have you been up to in game, Pixie? Have you been anything fun?
I've actually been working on some dungeon hard mode progression with Wandering Bard and Kiz from UESP, and then my buddy Lego, who I don't think he's in the Lore Seekers Guild, but he's a really good friend. We're right now working on Vet Castle Thorn hard mode. We've already cleared, I'm trying to remember the first one. We did the Fanglair hard mode, so I now have my Worm Cult personality, the creepy necromancer. And now we're working through the hard mode for Castle Thorn, which it's one of those hard modes that feels like it should be fairly straightforward and simple, but it lasts like a whole year. So by the time you get to the end, your nerves are shot and one misstep and you're dead.
Right.
So it's been a time. So we're actually giving that a shot again tomorrow unless something comes up. And I'm excited to find the killer for good this time.
Cool. It's fun to see that Matt made it on screen with us. He's came in and waved and turned himself to ice. Now he's running away. Let's look at the chat. Does anybody have any questions? I don't think so.
So Rose Mackey is asking if you mentioned Thursday lore run to finish up the World Boss. LR run to finish up World Boss
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
absolutely. That's been going on. I think I just mentioned on this show kind of the new things, but definitely on Wednesday nights, Wisty leads our World Boss Wednesday, and then the next night, Thursday night, Sparky Bagman and Wisty usually go back to the same zone and do the delves in public dungeon or dungeons for that area, kind of finish up what they didn't hit on World Boss Wednesday. The other facet to that is done by the Reliquary Guild, so we collect gear and everything to donate to our trading guild to sell to make a little extra money. So that's a little extra incentive. So yeah, that is definitely something that's been fun and it's been really, really cool.
And then Gone Crazy points out how hard it has to be to release content for an MMO completely from home. And I'm guessing that a lot of like the Greymore chapter expansion was likely already in the works or at least started before they had to start working from home. Who knows if they had even gotten started on Markarth yet before they had to start working from home earlier this year. So releasing an entire DLC mostly or entirely from home probably brought with it a new set of challenges that kind of explain why it's been so hard this time around.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think everybody does have to understand that this is a huge endeavor, this game. And to be able to develop something like this from separate locations working from home, keep everything cohesive with expansions coming out. It's a crazy amount of data they're working with and code. So I think they've done a fabulous job. So there's bound to be problems, and they're usually very quick about fixing them. And even if they're not quick, they at least will be, they'll reimburse the community, I guess is a way to put that, for their trouble. Usually do something very nice for us when something goes wrong. Jason has a really good question.
Yeah.
Where do we think the new chapter is headed? I've got my ideas. Pixie, would you like to start that up? Hi, Wisty. She just popped on screen with us.
Well, we do have the Akaviri Potentate crates coming up, which it would be really cool if we could go to Akavir and see an entirely new continent, but I don't want to hold my breath on that,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know, maybe more up in the DC side of things because it's been a while since we've been up in that direction. Maybe see more of the desert. Um, I'm not sure. It could be anywhere for me, but the Akaviri Potentate crates make me really cross my fingers for a whole new continent. But there's still so much room on the Tamriel map that I just don't know.
Yeah, I keep an eye on the Crown Store. They always drop hints. Usually, the December Crown Store will have something that'll point towards where they're going. It may be subtle, but it's usually out there. Um, I think they're going to go to Cyrodiil and not the Cyrodiil as we see it now. They're, oh, she threw a snowball at me or something. Awesome, Wisty. But there's more to Cyrodiil than in what is in ESO. So I think they're going to add on to that. I think it would
And
be
that would
pretty
make
sweet.
the Akaviri connection make sense too.
Exactly, yes. So that's kind of where I think they're going to be going.
That would make sense, and it would be easier to do that than make a whole new continent. As much as we'd like to see something other than just Tamriel at some point.
Right, yeah, and I mean, a new class, I don't see that happening right away. Only because they're still balancing out what they have.
The only thing that would make me think there would be a new class is because it was kind of like staggered. So in Morrowind we got a new class, in Somerset we didn't, in Elsewhere we got a new class, in Greymore we didn't. So it makes me wonder if we're getting a new class just to
Yeah,
see if they keep the same pattern. But since there's only a couple instances of that pattern being true, maybe not. And especially since they're still working from home, it might be harder to implement something like that, especially like you said, whenever they're still balancing out the game.
yeah. But, I mean, if there is a new class, it has to be a bard, right?
You would think. You would think. That would be really cool. I might have to question my choice in Maine if we get a bard class.
That would be very interesting. It's all over Elder Scrolls, every game, everywhere the bards
Mm-hmm.
are. So it's something that is missing. A new race, I don't know about a new race. The Dwemer are always out there, but you can't bring them back, right? They're gone.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be brought back. The soonest we'll see the Dwemer brought back would be Elder Scrolls 6, if I had to guess.
Maybe the Imga, huh?
Maybe that'd be an interesting choice.
That would
I've
bring
heard
Lore
some
Seeker
people kick
Cash back,
around.
I think. He loved the
I've
Imga.
heard some people kick around the idea of maybe the Malmer, which would be pretty cool because
Yeah,
it'd be, they're still humanoid, so it's not like going with another beast race and having to reskin all of those. So pretty much anything that works for any of the other elves would work for the Malmer, just slightly different ears and slightly paler. So that would be cool. But I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. If I had to guess, I don't think they'll ever really add a new race, just because these are the races that are playable in all of the modern games,
hmm,
unless they add more playable races in Elder Scrolls 6.
yeah.
But
In
that's
fact,
just my thought.
my wood elf, I have put the Marmor skin on him, and I just pretend like he's half wood elf, half Marmor. So
Oh, that's cool.
that's like the lore of him. He has a Marmor mom and a wood elf dad. So yeah, it's fun to
There you go.
play him.
You just slap a skin on them and just RP, and you can have any race you want.
That's exactly right. And that's what I
Maybe we'll
say
get an Imga skin.
when somebody says that kind of a touchy subject, but that AD are racist in this game. Like, they don't have to be because it's how you play them, right? You can be a high elf
Yeah,
and
and
not be
Irene isn't
racist.
racist.
Yeah, I don't believe they're
Mm.
racist, but there are opinions out there, right?
Well, then, anytime somebody brings up how racist several Altmer can be, I just bring up the Grey Quarter that the Nords have in Skyrim, in Windhelm,
Mm-hmm.
in the Fourth Era. So Nords are also pretty racist, and that usually gets them to stop real quick. And just it goes into all of the races have their flaws, and then it's a much more interesting conversation other than just high elves are bad.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. The snow elves. Well, the snow elves, they have kind of What are their names down in the dungeons? Oh, I forget. But they've gotten.
Oh, the Falmer.
Yeah, they're the Falmer. So they were totally morphed into Falmer. Now, if you, I guess you would find a lost civilization as Snow Elf. I guess that would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm with you. I don't really see a new race. Bards would be cool as a new class. I don't know what other new class there would be, so I don't really see that. But that was a long answer to your question, Jason. Thank you. So, I guess we're going to wrap it up unless anybody else has a question. We got World Boss Wednesday starting on PCNA in about 1 minute. She'll wait until I'm done with the show so I can join in. And they're going to Vardenfell today. So join in. If you want to join the Lore Seekers Guild, go to www.loreseekerseso.org. We just redid the website. It's kind of good. Matt, once again, did a great job on that. He's been my steady creative right hand. You can look at twitter.loreseekers.eso and Twitch at loreseekers_ESO. And you can catch Hyperpixie on Twitch at Hyperpixer Gaming. And you're also on another show. What is that?
Tales of Tamriel.
Absolutely. It's a great show, so you guys ought to catch that as well. They do a great job together on that. So I think that's it, everybody. Everybody go out there, have fun, do World Boss Wednesday on wherever you're at, whatever platform. Be good to each other, stay healthy, stay safe. It's a crazy world out there, so be good. And we'll talk to you at another time. Goodbye.
Have a good one, everybody.